Hello, precious people. I'm Jacqueline Parks, and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a mystery painting, so hopefully you'll stick around to the end to see what it is. But also we're going to be talking about being a Christian artist, which of course I love Jesus and I'm a Christian and I create art, so that to me makes me a Christian artist. Hey Christy, welcome. Good morning, my friend. Yes. I think everything is going good. Let's see how the overhead looks. Okay, so we do have my little paints are in the picture. I'm very happy that's happening. So I am using my new camera, y'all. My new camera. And it's working out super awesome. Let me see. So yeah, I got a Sony camera from Amazon, and yeah, it was like almost $500. So it was definitely a pricier camera than this thing. This thing was blurry. Now the mic on this was really good. I don't know if I can somehow utilize this mic in other videos. I don't know. But this camcorder, bad. Very, very bad. So don't waste your money. If it's 80 bucks, don't waste your money. Because 80 bucks gets you 80 bucks. So, but this morning, let me show you what, I've kind of done some things already. Not this morning, but I've done some kind of fun things because I'm going to be doing a craft show, arts and craft show this weekend, Saturday, and it will be in Robertsdale, Alabama at the Honeybee Festival. So it's going to be really fun. Last year we had to close early, like at 1:30, because there was a huge storm coming. I'm not really sure what's going to happen this weekend. I haven't checked that far in advance to see what the weather's like. Although we're having a cold snap coming down tomorrow, I think, for Halloween. Anyways, these are some bookmarks that I've been working on. I wanted to make a bunch for my friends, but then I don't know what happened. I ended up taking too much time to make these ones, probably. And didn't go as fast as I thought it was going to go. But, so tell me in the chat where y'all are from. I'm from Alabama. I'm not originally from Alabama, but that's where I live now. So it's a great state. I love it. You have to pick a football team when you move here. So I picked Alabama instead of Auburn, which most of the time Alabama wins. They're not having the best season this year, but that's okay. We're all allowed to have a resting season where we regroup and rebuild, right? So I know, Christy, you're from Alabama as well. I think you're born and raised in this great state. What's so great is that it's a very beautiful state. In fact, our motto used to be Alabama the Beautiful. Now I'm not really sure what it is, but it's just a beautiful state. So I'm not using my phone today to film. So see, and someone told me, my friend Megan told me that it's much clearer with the Sony camera. So I'm very happy about that. Born in Savannah, Georgia. No way. I did not know that about you. See how we learn something new about each other every day? That's so cool. That's so cool. So Christy, you're a Christian, I know. And you do Bible art journaling. We love to share our faith with people. We love to encourage people. And that's kind of my motto, is that I'm going to start a new page here. Hold on a second. And this is so cool. So this was my painting last Monday, I think, in this book. This is a watercolor block. And the reason it's called a block is because all the sides are taped with this kind of like gum. You know, like how old notebooks and stuff had that little gummy thing here so that you could pull pages off. Anyways, that's kind of what's on all the sides of this except for this one spot. And this is where I am going to start. Gotta get it in there first, but this is how you remove it. Okay, so you stick your bone folder in there. Yeah, this is my Stampin' Up! Bone folder, y'all. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator still. Just got a new downline recently who I've known for over 10 years, and she's awesome. You'll have to follow her on Instagram. I think it's, I'll have to put a link somewhere, but Biba is her name. She is awesome. Paper Dreams, maybe? I don't know. So yeah, these are really fun little bookmarks I made. And what I'll end up doing is I'll stamp them with my little, stamp that I had made from Zazzle. And so that's how you know you're getting an original when it's stamped, y'all. It's from me. And I'll probably sign these. I don't know. Definitely will put my little initials on the front. So now we have this nice clean sheet of paper. And it's still on the block. This might be on my last page though. I think this is the last page on here. Yeah, it looks like the last one. So, and I think I'm going to do it this way. And y'all, this is going to be a mystery. I'm going to be painting it upside down. I had to drink some coffee or some tea. You know how I get like little frogs in my throat and I don't like it? I don't even know. Let me see. Sometimes I like to draw using Da Vinci Eye, which my Da Vinci Eye is so awesome. Look at this. And it gives you daily inspirations. So like today's inspiration would be this apple, which, you know, didn't everything start with an apple in the Garden of Eden? Well, before that it started with God creating everything. And but I'm going to try freehand. We'll see what happens. You know, sometimes I can do freehand, sometimes not. But I did this subject in my last Bible, and it turned out fabulous, and I did do it upside down. So, I don't know. Do you want to watch me draw, or do you want to watch my paper? Or can we do both? Can I set up something that's like both? I don't know. I don't know if we can. I suppose I could. But let's see. We'll let you guys watch me draw. But don't get your hopes up if it's not perfect. And remember, we don't have to be perfect, so it's okay. So yeah, I'm gonna definitely do this upside down. Sorry. And then I'll probably concentrate a lot on this because when I'm drawing, that's kind of what I do. I concentrate just a little bit. Tell me, do you guys start off with a drawing first when you are creating an art piece? Or do you just paint straight in? Because I'm wondering, you know, do I do that? Do I go straight into it, or do I draw? And I'll tell you what I do. I draw. Why? Because then I can erase. Once you put it down, then guess what? It's not gonna, well, with watercolor you sometimes can erase. Basically, you just take your paper towel and you blot it out. But yeah, so tell me in the comments, like, do you like to draw it first and then paint it, or do you just go right in and paint? Sorry about the quietness. I should put like some music on or something. because I'm going to be like, oh, this is why normally I draw before I start my lives. But I thought it'd be kind of cool to just start it while I am live. Although now I'm second guessing that. Second guessing. Have you guys guessed what I'm drawing? Have you guessed it? It is upside down. And I don't know, it's really light. You probably can't tell too much. Too much. But this is definitely going to be interesting because I'm not used to just drawing it. I might turn it around and look. It's interesting. I don't even know. We'll figure it out, right? Together we'll figure it out. So like I've been watching some artists who paint online that are not necessarily preaching and talking about Jesus the whole time, but what they do is they have, you know, they mention God in their videos and they talk about their journey, which my journey has been, you know, where I'm more of a recent Christian the last like 6 or maybe 7, 8 years now. So, you know, I haven't really always been on fire for Jesus, but I am now. All right. So I'm going to take a look at what kind of colors I need. So I'm going to get these nice and wet. Nice and wet. And see, I just like to put a lot of water in here. And that just gets everything started being rehydrated. We really should rehydrate ourselves first thing in the morning. Like, I'm pretty bad about that, but if your fingertips are wrinkly, like I don't know if you can see how wrinkly my fingertips are, but they're pretty wrinkly. All right, I'm gonna mix some colors. All kinds of colors. All kinds of colors. And so just getting that first little bit on there, and might do a little more watered down version. There you go. Now sometimes I like to do some of that shadow work in here. And remember, we're not going to be critiquing ourselves. We're just going to be just trying to make it look like what we want it to look like, kind of. Which, I don't know, sometimes, you know, we have expectations of ourselves and they don't go the way we thought, which can be frustrating. And that's why we got to practice more, because to achieve what you want to takes some practice to get better, to hone your skills. And that was one of the things I wanted to talk about today with y'all was So it says in the Bible, let me see if I wrote it down. Thought I did. Oh yeah, here it is. So in Exodus 35:35, it says, God has filled them with skill to do all kinds of work as engravers, designers, and embroiderers. So there's a lot in that sentence, right? So engravers, designers, and embroiderers. They were making things for the temple, and so God gave them gifts to do that. He put it in their hands. He made it so that they can accomplish his will in creating this beautiful temple for him. And so as Christy saying, I have to draw first. Too much of a perfectionist to just paint. Yes. But you know what? I feel that, and I am kind of the same way. But one time I went and just started painting. And you know what's so crazy? I think I have the picture right here. Let me see if it's not too far away. I can show it to you. Maybe it isn't right here. Sometimes I can't find things. But that's okay. Ooh, maybe this is it. Is this it? Yes. I have piles all over my art room. Piles. Okay, so I did not draw this first. But y'all, who is that? Who is this person? You can recognize it. I'm pretty sure you can. I'm pretty sure. Put in the comments if you know who that is. And yes, Christy, you're right. I am painting a person. So you've already guessed it. I'm doing it upside down though. Because sometimes our left brain, right brain doesn't let us do things that because I think it's our right brain that wants to say, okay, this is the shape of an eye, this is the shape of a nose, and this is the way things look in my mind. But when we need to look and paint what we see, if you turn the painting picture upside down, the reference photo, then you can actually use your eyesight instead of your brain to paint. And then that just takes a little bit of hand-eye coordination to get going there. So, yes, that is my husband. Thank you. And I did not draw that. I didn't draw it first. And there's like something in my sketchbook that I just started painting without a drawing. And it really turned out great. But I did it with gouache. Gouache. Was it in the sketchbook? Sometimes I get all my little sketchbooks mixed up. This is my daughter's sketchbook, but sometimes I gotta steal it back so I can use it for something. But no, it's not in here, whatever I was looking for. It's not in that one. Maybe it's in this one. No. Although, look at this crazy painting I started in my sketchbook. It's kind of off of, I think, Ezekiel. It was kind of like the throne with the 24 elders. I mean, sometimes I just let my mind go. You know what I'm saying? My mind. And my, oh yeah, this is when I was totally studying the Bible and like how old people lived and everything. It's really a good idea to go to the source when you got some questions, right? All right, so I think I have left this to dry a little bit. So you are right, it is a person. And you notice that I'm using like this bigger brush today. This set from Michaels, I love it. I really, really love it. And it was only like 10 bucks, I think. Maybe not even that, for 5 brushes. It's like super inexpensive, yet it's like my favorite set besides my super expensive set, which this one is great for the detailed stuff because they're smaller. I have several of those, but I really like this one. This one's one of my favorites. And this one. So like these are the ones that I always have kind of right here. And my pencil, which I didn't even use. Well, no, I did use. I used my pencil. So yeah, if you have a gift that God has given you, it's very important to share that with the world, I think. I think we're called to share our gifts because it says in 1 Timothy 4:14, do not neglect your gift. So if you're like gifted and you're not sharing it, that's almost like neglecting it, in my opinion. Let's see if we can make some more color. Let's see what colors I can make. I need some of this brown mixed with my Payne's gray. And look at that pretty dark color right there. So this is going to be something where we're getting the subject to pop. The subject wants to pop. I guess we'll go all the way to the top. I can always crop that later, right? With a matte board when I frame it. And see, I'm barely spending any detail right here. I'm just kind of going for it. And that's, you know, sometimes your style of art might be something where you're not totally realistic. You have more impressionistic. So yeah, I was kind of researching the subject of Christian artists, and when I found something on, I think it was Google, what was it? Oh, someone's texted me. Hold on. I mean, I shouldn't really go to that. Oh, someone's asking me something else. Oh, and another person's praying for me. Very nice. I need prayer, y'all. Don't we all need prayer? All right, so this is getting kind of interesting background. It's just kind of speckly, and the colors are almost granulating. I don't know if that's from the Payne's gray or what. But yeah, I was researching it. And so this is what I wanted to show you guys. So let me see if I can transition this to something while we wait for that to dry, because we're going to let things dry so I can get more detail in there. So right here, you'll see 3 different paintings that I found while doing my research. And so the first one is the 13th century. Well, actually, the one on the right, that's like one of the first types of paintings that were found. They were found in the catacombs of Rome. They're definitely painted by the first kind of Christians, basically. And so this one's portraying the Virgin and Child. See, and for me, I don't know if you guys are the same way as me. I'm a very visual person, so like you can tell me things all day long and it might go in one ear out the other, but if you give me a text to read, I can read it and it'll go in my brain. Same with images. So I love seeing an image and it helps me to kind of understand what I'm seeing. And so the famous one down here on the bottom is The Last Supper by Leonardo da Vinci. And that was painted in 1498. And so The Last Supper is one of those where the communion was started, and Jesus was telling his disciples about what was going to be happening next. And so this image is definitely iconic. It brings to mind right before the crucifixion, what Jesus was doing with his disciples, and kind of giving us our doctrine for living. And you know, I'm not a philosopher. I'm not anyone who's well versed with the scriptures or anything, but I really just love the Lord, and I just let him help me in my life, and help me to live a better life. And that other one is also an image from the late 13th century. So, and it was a mosaic. So, like, there's so many different ways of creating art. And, you know, the thing is that the Roman Empire, well, it was defeated, but then it became the Catholic Church. And the Catholic Church commissioned a ton of religious paintings and artwork and statues. You know, famous statue is the one of David, and then of course other paintings from like Michelangelo and things like that, which really has been inspiring to a lot of artists. I just watched one of my favorite artists, not Paul Clark, but Lee Ron, and I'll mess up his last name. I'm not good with saying his last name, but he painted, I believe it was a statue of David, and it's just so beautiful. His watercolors are beautiful, and so I just feel like even in modern times we're being influenced by the Christian art that we saw a long time ago. From a long time ago, I mean. And so here's I want to show you guys this one. So these are some new Christian artists that I follow on Instagram. So this, I actually left their Instagram tags right above their pictures. So if you want to start following them, you can. And I wrote down their names. Of course, I'm really bad at pronouncing names, but we will try. We will try and do it. So let me show you the one at the top, Young-Sung Kim. I just started following him, but everyone knows that painting. Everyone knows that one where Jesus is reaching down through the water to help Peter, who sank because his faith gave up in the middle of walking on the water. The one on the bottom left is Debbie Clark. I just started following her like, I don't know, maybe 6-8 months ago, maybe. She has very interesting stuff that is, well, this is like the 4 horsemen from the apocalypse, but there's also a lot of other really cool things. Like, there's one that was really striking of a woman in a boat on the lake, and there's like storms, but she's in calm water. The one in the middle is Greg Collins. I love all his artwork. Look at Jesus holding a kitten, Jesus and the lion. I mean, he's got so many other depictions too on his, not just of Jesus, but of people and lions, tigers, all kinds of things. It's really a beautiful example of Christian art, I think. And then, of course, Vanessa Horabuena. She is super amazing. She does a lot of worship painting. That means like she'll have worship music going and she'll paint a whole painting, and it's just like her whole body's painting. It's amazing to watch her, and it's amazing to watch her art come to life. So yep, I like that. Let's see, we'll go back to looking at my painting, what I'm doing here. And so I might get the smaller brush now and try and do, let's see what we can do. I'm gonna look at my photo here a little closer. Let me see, I'm gonna mix some color. Let's see, that'll be a good. I may need to use my white gel pen. I don't know. But see, I get all quiet when I'm concentrating. This is definitely in shadow. I don't know why this brush is so wet. I think I put it in That's what happened. There's like water in this little thing got water in it. The handle. That's okay. All right. Back to this. Let's see. So we're going to blend into this now because that side of the face is in shadow. Again, sorry if I'm being super quiet, but I'm just trying to concentrate a little. We're going to have fun when we flip this around and see what it looks like, huh? What I love about watercolors, see how I'm like dabbing that out because I put something where I didn't want it? That's also another cool thing about watercolors that I like. Let's see. And then I need some more of that skin tone. So y'all know how to make skin tone, right? I just take some of this yellow ochre and some of my orange colors here. I don't know what, and then a little bit of blue. Oh, that was too much blue. More orange. Maybe the orange and the blue. But I put the yellow in there, or maybe a little bit darker oranges in there to get it more of a warmth. And you'll just have to go by your subject. Some subject matters have a dark skin tone, some have a lighter skin tone. And this one has definitely a warmer skin tone, so I'm going to add even more. But then I want to water down. See how I'm watering down? Just definitely got to make it so it's not too thick, because sometimes it'll just sit on there. And see, I'm just kind of going back where I was and just doing some stuff here and there. There's like all kinds of noises going on outside. See, I'm even using some of these reds. Those will be good. I'll rinse my brush because all those shapes are definitely too pristine and clean. I want them to be blurred in with some of this. There we go. That's looking really good. Blur that in there a little bit. And I want some of that more of a bluish tone and over here. That's definitely shadow. Maybe just a little bit of blue in there. Again, this has a lot of shadow in there. Which, you know, I may end up putting more over in here. But I know sometimes for me, I'm real nervous about painting people, but I am doing a commission right now. We're going to let that dry for just a minute. So I'm not really doing anything. I'm just letting things dry. But yeah, I've been commissioned to do a person, and so it's been an honor to try and do that. And I don't know, is my live still going? Give me a thumbs up if you still see me. If not, maybe that's who's texting me. Y'all can text me now because I have my phone instead of recording with it. Oh no, it's just about Jessica's eye doctor or something. But yeah, so give me a thumbs up, give me some hearts if you can still see me, if I'm like still going. Now the square is green on there, so it was red a minute ago. I wasn't paying attention. Sorry if I'm like freezing or something. I don't know what's going on with the internet lately. It's just kind of crazy. So anyways, let's go back to overhead. Let me see. So yeah, I'm gonna do some more of this. And I don't know if it's perfect, y'all, but like I said before, nothing needs to be perfect. It can all just be for yourself anyways. I mean, sometimes we share our art, sometimes we just do it for ourselves. But I always say it's a good idea to share it with the world. I was just thinking about how not too long ago I made a video of me in my pajamas with my kitchen a mess, no makeup on. I started the video like I totally was doing it in my pajamas there, and I ended up having a really good video, even though I was not done with all my chores. And so like a lot of times we think we can't start enjoying our craft because we have too much to do. But I say it helps us to be better people when we're happy and we're following our passions and what makes us have peace and calm and serenity. Okay, you see me, Christy? Good, thank you. Because I was like wondering if anyone can see me. So eyes are really cool in that they're kind of like the whites are not super white. So sometimes I use like a little blue to depict those. Sometimes I do a little bit of the skin tone around there. So see, I'm mixing up my Payne's Gray, definitely some thick Payne's Gray and this brown, which may be burn umber. I don't know, it came in this thing. It's a lot of brown I put in there, but that's okay. So now we're gonna do a little bit more in here. I can't really tell, it's hard to see my little thing here. I like just kind of let my brush do whatever my brush will do. And that was one thing too. I like to just pray and let the Holy Spirit guide me. So sometimes when we get stressed out about something, we just gotta let the Holy Spirit guide us, right? And just see what happens when we give control to Him. And so that's something that I'm really trying to do more of. You know what I'm saying? Trying to do more of giving control to the Lord instead of taking control. Which can be hard sometimes. Oh, this is kind of in shadow. And see, dramatic shadows really can change the way you paint. So it's kind of cool to let that happen. I think it's really good. To kind of play with that idea. Get some more blue, some more of this in there. Just keep adding some water if you want to spread it out a little bit. So that's going pretty good. And you probably already can guess, you know, who I'm painting. But you get that. A little bit more detail on here. But I'm not always good with those little fine details, y'all. So I just kind of but what I do love is that watercolor can be lifted up. I'm very grateful for that. This needed some more. See how that is? And you can't really get this unless you're getting dry right there. Like it's more dry. Same with over here. That might be needing this color more. See, just adding a couple little details in here. And I'm following someone else's painting who is very famous. She painted this painting that I'm painting when she was 12, which I can't even imagine. So I just kind of like it, though. It's really, I have it actually in my bedroom, and I just kind of let it be in a place where I can see it. So that's another reason I wanted to talk about being a Christian artist, is because sometimes what we make can inspire people and give them a visual to look at. So now I'm going to do the hair color. Like this is kind of a sandy brown. Let's see what happens if I add some of this brown. Is that like sandy blonde brown hair? I think so. It's close. So we're just adding a little bit here and there. And then I want to add some, that might be too dark. And then just some bit of dark right in there. It's a little darker on that side. Look how much paint I've been using up. Like, I'm going through it today. I don't know if it's this paper. This paper might be a little bit more absorbent, maybe. So I got to get that nice look around the hair. So I got to do this. Yeah, that just makes it come out a lot more. Let's see. Do a little bit more up here. Need thicker paint. Adding some more in there. And look at that. So, yeah, this is one of those photos I have in my bedroom, and it's just a nice image to wake up to in the morning and just think about Jesus and give him thanks for the day. So that's one of those things. I'm gonna let that dry for a minute. I think I'm gonna let that dry for a minute so you can look at me. And I want to turn it around and see what it's looking like. It's not gonna look like hers at all, I don't think. I don't know who it's gonna look like. I'm looking at it right now going, I don't know. I don't know about that. Let's see if I can fix it. Let's fix it. Yeah. Yeah, no, you're not seeing what I'm doing. Sorry. Sorry. There we go. All right. So definitely need some help with that. But not all the art that you do has to represent a religious figure or even Jesus or any kind of prophecy or anything like that. Because if you'll look on my channel, you'll see that I have a bunch of animal portraits that I've done. Each of the portraits I've done, I've prayed over first, and then even with like some people whose puppies are no longer with them and they ask me to paint them, I mean, I feel emotional painting their animal for them. And I feel like, God has given me a gift to capture the likeness of their dog. And I just pray that it brings them comfort when I'm doing it. And the same with this, young man that I'm painting. Not today, but I've already kind of been commissioned to do it. So I've been working on it. And I totally started crying while painting it because he has passed away and at such a young age. And it's just kind of emotional to think about that and what the mom must be going through. And I just pray that the painting will bring her comfort. And that's all. I just feel like my art doesn't have to represent religious icons. I can be a Christian artist without having to paint religion or religious images. But I will show you. I don't know if he's finished. Y'all are going to be like laughing at it. Please don't laugh at it. But there you go. He is not the same, but that's okay. That is not the same. And I can tell already what I'm looking at. Hey, Lydia. Hi, sunshine. I love you. Love you, love you, love you. But look who I painted today. I painted Jesus. But this is from, and I'll mess up pronouncing her name. Let me see if I can pronounce her name. Akian Krameric. The girl that's like super, She's just, what is it? She's a child prodigy. Oh, thank you, Lydia. So, like, this is her painting she did when she was 12 years old of Jesus. And the crazy story about this was that, thank you, Christy. I love you. Y'all are so sweet. So yeah, it's looking pretty good. You know, I think I'll like it. It's fine. I might add some more into these little sections here. Get that going. I didn't do no splattering. I could splatter sometimes. Splattering saves a painting. It saves it. If I want to do a little bit more of that shadowing on his garment to bring that out. There we go. Might do some more of this warm color. And there you go. I don't know. Like, I did not draw this, y'all, with my Da Vinci eye. I drew it with my eye. Jacqueline eye. So it was not super accurate. But you know what? This is what I did. So it's cool. Add some more hair. And here's another thing that's super important, y'all, is have some different tones. Like, you don't want everything to be the same, you know, like lights or darks. You want them to be different tones, okay? So if you take a picture of your painting, like during the process, you can actually see how that looks. And sometimes you'll be able to tell if you like it. I'm going to give his beard a little bit more beard because I think his chin looks a little pointy. So I'm going to make it a little wider. And it kind of goes up there. But there's some people that do really great portraits. People. So, you know Beth, Lydia, our friend Beth, she is really good at portraits, like human portraits. But like I said, I'm not taking credit for painting anything. Needs more hair? Yes, probably on top. Is it too late though for me to add more hair? Let's see what we can do. See, and I'm gonna just take some of that and kind of, I don't know, sop up some of that, and then we can add the color back in. Add some yellow. And then, see how cool? I mean, it's just amazing what you can do with watercolor. I don't know. Now he might look like he's too afro-y, but that's okay. What do you think now? You're painting with your heart. Yes. Thank you, Lydia. Perhaps this is how you see him and he is handsome. Oh, pretty cool. But yeah, he did need a little more hair on top. And this is one of those things where you may end up going back and saying, you know what, I need to change something about my painting, right? Change something about it. And that's okay if you need to change something. I'll make that a little bit more. But like, this is really fun because I can see the lights and darks in there. And I can get really dark in here if I wanted. And it will make it pop. You know what I'm saying? Pop all that out. But I'm going to have to give this some. I don't know. Just let my heart, like you said, paint it. And what I can do is go back in there with a white gel pen if I need to. Interesting. I kind of like it. This is way different than hers, but I kind of like it. I need to do maybe a little more water on that. Let's see, you have to keep painting. You can't stop your paint. You must paint. I like doing this. And if you're going to start doing detailed work, that's the thing where you need to be kind of careful, because once you start adding details into your painting, you may end up trying to do too many details, and that will end up, you'll be more focused on creating that instead of just letting your painting do what it does. There we go. I'm going to do a little there. And see how that's just adding some more dimension, and that's a shadow in there, so it helps when you add those little shadows. And that makes it really stand out. There you go. Not too shabby, huh? It looks so good. Thank you, Christy. I feel like he needs his pupil to be a little darker in here. Maybe. But I don't want it to be too. See what happens when you start adding detail. Then it starts becoming, you got to do all the details. But I don't know. I might have messed that eye up. But you know, this is what you do. You get some clean water, and you can lift. But here's the thing that I'm going to be doing when this completely dries, is I'm going to be putting that white gel in there. And white gel will really pop it out. So let me see what else I was going to talk to y'all about. We only got a couple more minutes together. But what I wanted to share with you is, y'all have heard of C.S. Lewis, and he wrote the books from the Narnia series. And so the Narnia series, that's The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. And he created that not because he researched how do I write a Christian novel for kids to enjoy and understand the gospel. He didn't do that. What he did was, he said he had this image in his mind since the age of 16 of a little, what it was, the creature with the umbrella walking with packages through the snow. So that was like an image in his mind. And I do believe God gave him that image. And then he wanted to, finally, when he was 40 years old, he wanted to start writing that story about that image. And so when he sat down to write it, Aslan came into the picture, and so God would probably put that in his mind. And so a lot of times, if we're just researching how to work for the Lord, we might get hung up on that kind of forcing it to happen. And I think what's important is to just be in the Word and let God use you the way He's going to use you. And like one of the scriptures that that really stood out to me for today was Colossians 3:23, and it says, whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as working for the Lord. So we can take what we're doing. If you're a gardener, if you're a mom, if you're a wife, if you're a secretary or admin assistant, if you are an artist, a writer, if you sew, Christy, I know you sew, just whatever you do. And Lydia, I think you've been sewing too. You make me such cute little things for my Bible. And I just think that if you work at what you're doing with all of your heart for the Lord, then you will be successful, even if it's not being a bazillionaire or being, famous or being, you don't need to be elevated in order to serve the Lord and to help others know Him. In fact, I've been focusing more on people in my own town instead of trying to reach the masses. And, I go on here live every Monday and I try and paint the best as I can, let the Lord use me and speak to y'all about Him and give you some scripture. And that's about, the gist of what I can do worldwide. But I can pray for the world, of course. We all can pray. And that's one of those things, though, that God used C.S. Lewis in his book that he wrote to reach millions. And so here's another thing. I don't know if you guys can see what I'm wearing. Da, 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 da. It's The Chosen. So if you know The Chosen TV series about Jesus and his followers, then you'll see that was a crowdfunding thing. They ended up making the first season, I think, with just people pledging to, pay so much. And then they were able to create it. And now they're on season 4. It's coming out soon. I can't wait. And it's supposed to go 7 seasons. And it's supposed to be all the way through after the crucifixion. So a lot of times movies depict that. Like Mel Gibson's Passion of the Christ, they depict the crucifixion. And it breaks our hearts and it makes us hate our sin. But I want to also see what happens after. Like when he comes back, when he's risen from the dead, when Mary Magdalene sees him, and when he goes and he eats with his disciples, and then when Thomas is like, hey, I don't believe it, and then like he has to put his hands in Jesus's scars. And that's just like, I think that'll be an amazing episode and season when Dallas Jenkins does that one. If we're here, if not, we may be raptured before then. So who knows? But I hope today has inspired you all to just not be afraid to be called a Christian artist. It doesn't mean that you have to paint Jesus all the time. It doesn't mean you have to have a message in your art. But it does mean that you are a Christian with your whole being and your whole heart and soul and mind, and that what you create is glorifying God. So it could be a landscape, it could be an animal, it can be your best friend that you paint a picture of, it could be anything. You could do Bible art journaling, which is what brought me to know the Lord and become a born-again Christian, was through art journaling. And I'll have to show you my Bible sometime. We'll do a little flip through. But so anyways, I just hope you all have a blessed day, and I love y'all so much.